heart-stopping moment. A lone antelope found itself locked in a life-or-death chase with a crocodile in the water. While the antelope's speed on land is unmatched, the crocodile had the upper hand in the water. With danger closing in, the antelope summoned every ounce of strength, desperately swimming toward the shore in a bid for survival. Its frantic efforts paid off, as it managed to create some distance between itself and the relentless predator. But the crocodile, unwilling to give up on a near-certain meal, surged forward with renewed determination, closing the gap with terrifying speed. For over 10 minutes, a relentless, agonizing chase, the antelope's survival instincts clashed with the crocodile's ferocity. Just as the predator's gaping jaws lunged forward, the antelope dove underwater and performed an incredible leap to the shore. In a miraculous escape, the antelope bolted into safety, trembling from the ordeal, while the frustrated crocodile returned to the depths, its hunt ending in failure. It's reported that a Komodo dragon, Sansao, decided to eat a highly venomous giant bat, unaware of its notorious reputation as a poison king. Will Sansao survive this risky feast? This massive bat, hanging upside down from a tree, is a rare sight. With a body as hefty as a monkey's, one bite from it could be fatal. But the greedy Sansao wasn't fazed. Used to dining on wild boars and goats, he wanted something different. In one swift move, he yanked the bat from the tree. The bat shrieked in pain, but its struggle was short-lived. Surprisingly, Sansao devoured the bat in just a few bites. Yet, it wasn't enough to satisfy him. His luck continued as he spotted another giant bat perched nearby, its wings casting an eerie shadow. Without hesitation, Sansao leapt and snapped it down. The bat, a self-proclaimed poison king, probably never imagined it would end up in the belly of such a daring predator. But why didn't the bat just fly away? How? A tiger and a massive python locked in a deadly battle, neither willing to back down. Who will emerge victorious? The ending will completely shatter your expectations. It all started when the python dared to block the path of the jungle's king, the tiger. The battle was immediate and brutal. The tiger lunged first, biting into the python's body, but the snake swiftly retaliated, sinking its fangs deep into the tiger. Despite this, the tiger didn't hesitate and launched a more ferocious attack. But the python was far from intimidated. It aimed straight for the tiger's face, and with lightning speed the tiger struck back, landing a hard blow on the python. But don't underestimate the python. It quickly freed itself and delivered a biting counterattack. As the tiger tried to overpower it, the snake coiled tightly around the tiger's body, snapping its ribs with an unforgiving grip. In this deadly clash, the mighty tiger seemed to meet its match in the python. Nature's power is beyond belief. Its aim was horribly wrong. Trust me, you won't believe how badly it ended for the poor creature caught by the lions. In its hunger, the crocodile launched a sneaky attack. Hiding in the water, it terrorized the antelopes, who lived in constant fear. But when the crocodile tried to ambush one, the antelope narrowly escaped. Undeterred, the crocodile turned its attention to a nearby water buffalo. But the buffalo's speed was beyond belief, and the crocodile missed completely. Failing twice, it targeted a leopard, still recovering from its last humiliation. Little did the leopard know, it would fall prey to the crocodile. But then the crocodile made a grave mistake. It targeted a lion on land. The lions weren't about to tolerate its bad behavior. A pride of 10 lionesses cornered and beat the crocodile senseless. Stunned and defeated, the crocodile learned a hard lesson. It would never dare ambush again. Oh my god! The pregnant hyena queen is on the verge of giving birth, but her life is hanging by a thread. A pack of wild dogs is relentlessly attacking her, as if they're trying to rip her belly open and devour her unborn cubs. Stripped of her strength and authority, she's been forced out of her clan. Can this fallen queen safely bring her cubs into the world? Today, as labor begins, she's overwhelmed with fear. Her enemies are everywhere, and she must find a safe place immediately. But predators don't show mercy. The wild dogs catch her scent and pounce, targeting her with vicious bites. Terrified, the hyena queen presses her body to the ground, desperately shielding her belly. The tables have turned. The queen, once known for attacking others, now faces her worst nightmare during childbirth. Outnumbered and defenseless, she flees as fast as her weakened body allows. Finally, she finds a cave, where, amidst agony, she gives birth to 3 cubs. Exhausted and defeated, the queen sheds tears, a haunting picture of despair and resilience. A wild deer had nowhere to run. In panic, it darted into the water, thrashing in a desperate attempt to escape. But there was no hope. Behind it, a pack of deadly predators was closing in, and the deer, terrified for its life, was forced to flee recklessly, its mind clouded with fear. The poor deer was utterly terrified, not just from the chase, but from the sight of third sister. To be fair, perhaps calling her that wasn't entirely polite, but to the deer, it felt like the most honest reflection of its thoughts. It had never seen a creature like her, ugly, vicious, and relentless. It was a nightmare. The deer thought it might be safe in the water, that it could escape the danger, but that hope was quickly dashed. Third sister followed it into the water without hesitation, and when she saw the deer, she had no mercy. This meal was hers, and no one could stop her. But the water wasn't her domain, and she could only use a fraction of her full strength. Still, she was determined. She tried to subdue the deer gently at first, but the deer wasn't cooperating, and that frustration turned into something darker. Fed up with the resistance, third sister didn't waste time. With a vicious bite to the deer's head, she injected her venom, flooding it with poison. The deer shuddered, realizing the danger too late. This wasn't a fair fight. She was using a biological weapon, and now the deer was truly at risk. It was only a matter of time. Third sister didn't rush to finish the job. She stepped back, allowing the poison to work its way through the deer's body. She wasn't interested in wasting energy when victory was inevitable. There was a method to her madness. She was playing the long game. As the time passed, the deer lost its strength, slowly succumbing to the poison. It lay motionless in the water, a pitiful sight, its life ticking down. Meanwhile, third sister gazed upward, perhaps silently thanking fate for this easy victory. A lioness, out for a stroll with her cubs, stumbles upon an unexpected jackpot, a buffalo that had just been hit by a car. She eyes the injured buffalo, scanning the area cautiously while waiting for reinforcements. The sight of a buffalo lying inexplicably on the road puzzles her, but she doesn't waste time pondering. A free meal? She'll gladly accept. Soon, more lions arrive, drawn by the scent of opportunity. But they don't devour the buffalo right there. Instead, they meticulously drag it to the roadside, ensuring the area is safe before feasting. For these lion parents, luck is truly on their side today, an effortless meal, courtesy of fate. Sometimes these strolls bring smaller surprises. A lone male lion roaming the road once came across an isolated wild dog pup, sealing the day's snack. And then there are the big prizes, like a lioness finding a 1-ton giraffe. With this massive catch, the pride won't worry about food for weeks. Giraffes are rare delicacies for lions, and had they been a moment late, it might have fallen to the wild dogs or vultures instead. On other occasions, they come across fresh beef, hot and ready, as if delivered by nature itself. Truly, fortune favors those who keep moving. The heavens, it seems, reward those who seize every chance to thrive. This unlucky lion was having the worst day imaginable. After bringing down a buffalo, it was immediately ambushed by the herd, with 2 bulls launching it into the air with their sharp horns. Injured and dazed, the lion barely managed to escape. Another lion, resting innocently in the grass, wasn't spared either. A furious buffalo spotted it, and despite attempting to flee, it was too late. The enraged buffalo charged, tossing the lion high into the air. The poor feline slinked away, battered and too scared to retaliate. Nearby, another lion lay battered and broken after a relentless assault from the herd. What began as a simple hunt for a meal turned into a nightmare. The buffaloes, sensing victory, encircled the lion, taking turns to attack with their deadly horns. One buffalo hurled the lion skyward while another closed in, forcing it to retreat under a tree for safety. But the herd refused to relent, continuing their relentless charge. United and unyielding, the buffaloes proved a force the lion couldn't handle. Had it not escaped to higher ground, the consequences would have been far more dire. What a heart-stopping moment! A lone antelope found itself locked in a life-or-death chase with a crocodile in the water. While the antelope's speed on land is unmatched, the crocodile had the upper hand in the water. With danger closing in, the antelope summoned every ounce of strength, desperately swimming toward the shore in a bid for survival. Its frantic efforts paid off, as it managed to create some distance between itself and the relentless predator. But the crocodile, unwilling to give up on a near-certain meal, surged forward with renewed determination, closing the gap with terrifying speed. For over 10 minutes, a relentless, agonizing chase, the antelope's survival instincts clashed with the crocodile's ferocity. Just as the predator's gaping jaws lunged forward, the antelope dove underwater and performed an incredible leap to the shore. In a miraculous escape, the antelope bolted into safety, trembling from the ordeal, while the frustrated crocodile returned to the depths, its hunt ending in failure. Damn, what a disaster! The Lion King stepped out today without checking his luck and ended up getting attacked by this, walking straight into the lion's den. The Komodo dragon had come to challenge the honey badger's reign, setting the stage for a fierce showdown. This Komodo dragon was on its home turf, searching for food, while Mi Huan, the honey badger, was calmly digging a den, unaware of the danger closing in. The dragon had already caught the scent and began moving toward the honey badger's location. Mi Huan, ever vigilant, sensed the threat and tactically retreated into the underbrush. Both creatures paused, each carefully planning their next move, unwilling to rush into battle unprepared. The honey badger circled stealthily, while the Komodo dragon relied on its natural camouflage, each playing to their strengths. But suddenly, Mi Huan spotted an unexpected target. A trembling Komodo hatchling clinging to the end of a fragile tree branch. The honey badger closed in, relentless, as the branch wobbled dangerously. In desperation, the hatchling leapt from the tree. At that critical moment, the adult Komodo dragon charged in to defend. The battle erupted. Mi Huan latched onto the dragon's neck with a powerful bite. Shockingly, the dragon chose to flee, but stumbled and fell, sealing its fate. The honey badger delivered the final blow, turning the dragon into its next meal. Had the dragon fought back, would the outcome have changed? We'll never know, but hesitation proved fatal. The crocodile and the hippo are about to clash again. Who truly rules the waters? Spotting the crocodile basking lazily on the riverbank, the hippo wasted no time, charging forward for a surprise attack. But just as the hippo approached, the crocodile lifted its head, startling the hippo momentarily. With courage reignited, the hippo advanced aggressively, and the tension between them ignited like a powder keg. The crocodile braced itself for the inevitable battle. The hippo made the first move, jaws wide, lunging at the crocodile. In response, the crocodile snapped back fiercely. Yet, after just one exchange, the crocodile turned tail and fled. In this showdown for territory, the hippo emerged victorious. Crocodiles rarely dare challenge hippos. Those thick-skinned water tanks can't be easily harmed. If angered, a hippo will pummel a crocodile relentlessly, sometimes even killing it. Outnumbered crocodiles resting on the bank had no choice but to retreat, giving way to the unbeatable hippo. When it comes to hippos, the only options for crocodiles are to dodge or flee. A lion managed to take down a hippo, and immediately the hippo's companions rushed ashore to check on the fallen one. Would these daring lions face the wrath of a hippo's crushing power? The companions nudged the injured hippo repeatedly, trying to help it stand, and opened their massive jaws to scare off the lions. Startled, the lions backed off momentarily. But lions don't give up easily, especially when a meal is so close. Tensions escalated as the standoff began. Typically, lions avoid provoking hippos. Those giant jaws can be deadly. In one instance, a lioness attempted to attack a hippo and ended up being bitten so severely it was tragic to witness. However, something surprising happened. When the lions lunged at the downed hippo again, its companions retreated, one by one, slipping back into the water. From there, they watched in silence as the lions feasted on their fallen comrade. Had they fought back, the lions might have been forced to retreat. But today, it seemed the hippos believed their companion was beyond saving. And so, the king of the savannah claimed its prize. A long sword pierced straight through the man's body, yet he remained completely unharmed. When the assistant carefully withdrew the blade, not a single drop of blood appeared. The man even waved to the audience, performing with ease as if nothing had happened. Without video evidence, such a scene would be impossible to believe. This extraordinary event occurred in the 1940s. Mr. Milan, with a seemingly indestructible body, left experts and doctors in disbelief. They insisted he repeat the act before a live audience, this time using X-rays to confirm its authenticity. Once again, the sword was thrust into his body, and Milan stood calm, striking a confident pose. The sharp blade passed cleanly through, yet he walked across the stage, arms outstretched as though untouched by the weapon. When the sword was withdrawn, his body appeared to heal instantly, no blood, no visible wound. To heighten the tension, Milan instructed the assistant to pierce his abdomen from the side. The assistant, trembling with fear, hesitated but obeyed. The sword slid through without resistance. X-rays confirmed the sword was lodged inside his body, yet Milan performed effortlessly, exuding composure. When the sword was finally removed again, Milan stood steady, calm and unshaken. How could this incredible feat be real? The vet is preparing to cut open a massive abscess on the horse's hoof, and no one knows what might come out. The abscess, now bigger than a human head, looks ready to burst at any moment. Could it spray pus, parasites, or even something unimaginable? It started after the horse's owner took it for a bath in the Amazon River. At first, the swelling was only the size of an egg, but instead of healing, it grew uncontrollably, now resembling an overinflated balloon. The vet, fearing an accidental explosion, cautiously used pliers to trim away excess tissue. However, the horse, in obvious pain, kept flinching and kicking, making the process even more difficult. Surgery on the hoof is risky. One wrong cut could damage a major artery and leave the horse permanently lame. Understanding the stakes, the vet decided to postpone the operation until tomorrow afternoon to ensure all precautions are in place. Time is running out, and the tension is palpable. The drunken man somehow stumbled into the lion enclosure, only to find himself surrounded by two furious lions. What unfolded next was nothing short of a textbook example of survival under extreme pressure. Can he make it out alive? The moment the man saw the lions closing in, he sobered up instantly. The lions, enraged by the intrusion into their territory, attacked without hesitation. One pounced, sending him flying several meters. Trapped and with no escape in sight, things looked grim. A lion sank its teeth into his thigh, but the man fought back with his hands, momentarily forcing the beast to retreat. Yet, the male lion, unwilling to lose face in front of its mate, launched an even fiercer assault. As the spectators watched in terror, rescue teams were called, but time was running out. Most would have panicked and run, but this man did the unthinkable. Raising both hands high above his head, he let out a series of loud, commanding shouts. It wasn't surrender. It was a strategy to appear larger and intimidate the lions. This bold move bought enough time for rescuers to arrive, armed with high-pressure water cannons and tranquilizers. Even as the lions grew more aggressive from the darts, the man remained calm and composed. Against all odds, he was saved. This man now has a story to brag about for the rest of his life. One for the ages. The wild rabbit is on the brink of disaster. The falcon has locked onto its prey, eyes burning with deadly intent. But the rabbit, an escape artist by nature, dodges with lightning-fast serpentine movements, slipping free from the falcon's grasp. Driven by hunger, the falcon strikes again. Yet this rabbit is no fool. In a desperate counter, it nearly turns the hunter into the hunted. Blood spills, twice. Terrified, the rabbit almost loses control, but it seizes a fleeting chance, diving into the nearby bushes. The falcon, relentless, refuses to give up. It will shred the rabbit to pieces, but without its aerial edge, the predator is nothing more than a clumsy, earthbound chicken before the fleet-footed rabbit. Still, the falcon is more cunning than the rabbit ever imagined. It perches atop a tree, lying in wait. The rabbit miscalculates. Emerging from the bush, it sprints toward its burrow, freedom just within reach. But before it can escape, the falcon strikes for the third time. This time, the hunt ends. The rabbit is caught. A young lion cub found itself surrounded by a herd of raging buffalo. In sheer desperation, it climbed up a brittle tree. But the next moment, the buffalo smashed the tree, sending the cub crashing down. This wasn't just bad luck. The cub had ventured out with its mother, learning how to hunt buffalo. But today, the buffalo were far more united than the lions. Left behind by its fleeing pride, Cub was cornered, trembling in fear on the fragile branches of the tree. The buffalo's fury knew no bounds. One charged, shattering the tree. The cub fell hard to the ground, dazed and vulnerable. As it scrambled to return to its pride, an enraged buffalo charged again, pinning the cub to the ground and battering it mercilessly. The brutal assault didn't stop there. The buffalo's sharp horns sent the cub flying through the air. If it survived, it surely wouldn't escape without severe wounds and a traumatic lesson in survival. A lioness, out for a stroll with her cubs, stumbles upon an unexpected jackpot, a buffalo that had just been hit by a car. She eyes the injured buffalo, scanning the area cautiously while waiting for reinforcements. The sight of a buffalo lying inexplicably on the road puzzles her, but she doesn't waste time pondering. A free meal? She'll gladly accept. Soon, more lions arrive, drawn by the scent of opportunity. But they don't devour the buffalo right there. Instead, they meticulously drag it to the roadside, ensuring the area is safe before feasting. For these lion parents, luck is truly on their side today. An effortless meal, courtesy of fate. Sometimes these strolls bring smaller surprises. A lone male lion roaming the road once came across an isolated wild dog pup sealing the day's snack. And then there are the big prizes, like a lioness finding a 1-ton giraffe. With this massive catch, the pride won't worry about food for weeks. Giraffes are rare delicacies for lions, and had they been a moment late, it might have fallen to the wild dogs or vultures instead. On other occasions, they come across fresh beef, hot and ready, as if delivered by nature itself. Truly, fortune favors those who keep moving. The heavens, it seems, reward those who seize every chance to thrive. A wild deer had nowhere to run. In panic, it darted into the water, thrashing in a desperate attempt to escape. But there was no hope. Behind it, a pack of deadly predators was closing in, and the deer, terrified for its life, was forced to flee recklessly, its mind clouded with fear. The poor deer was utterly terrified, not just from the chase, but from the sight of third sister. To be fair, perhaps calling her that wasn't entirely polite, but to the deer, it felt like the most honest reflection of its thoughts. It had never seen a creature like her, ugly, vicious, and relentless. It was a nightmare. The deer thought it might be safe in the water, that it could escape the danger, but that hope was quickly dashed. Third sister followed it into the water without hesitation, and when she saw the deer, she had no mercy. This meal was hers, and no one could stop her. But the water wasn't her domain, and she could only use a fraction of her full strength. Still, she was determined. She tried to subdue the deer gently at first, but the deer wasn't cooperating, and that frustration turned into something darker. Fed up with the resistance, third sister didn't waste time. With a vicious bite to the deer's head, she injected her venom, flooding it with poison. The deer shuddered, realizing the danger too late. This wasn't a fair fight. She was using a biological weapon, and now the deer was truly at risk. It was only a matter of time. Third sister didn't rush to finish the job. She stepped back, allowing the poison to work its way through the deer's body. She wasn't interested in wasting energy when victory was inevitable. There was a method to her madness. She was playing the long game. As the time passed, the deer lost its strength, slowly succumbing to the poison. It lay motionless in the water, a pitiful sight, its life ticking down. Meanwhile, third sister gazed upward, perhaps silently thanking fate for this easy victory. Oh my! Can the civet take down this venomous beast? Let's find out. Just moments ago, the black mamba slithered out of a tree hollow in search of food, unaware that a civet was prowling beneath the tree. Spotting each other, the tension is unbearable pain. In a swift move, the civet sneaks behind the mamba and bites down on its head, killing it instantly. The black mamba lies lifeless, its reign ended. The civet triumphantly devours the lethal snake, turning it into a spicy meal. Damn! This is hands down the unluckiest lion you've ever seen. A hippo, long thought dead, has returned, its bloated body almost bursting. Meanwhile, a pride of lions, unaware, decides to push the hippo to the shore for a feast. One lion, without hesitation, walks up to the carcass. But the crocodile, watching from the water, has other plans. It ambushes the lion, biting it fiercely. The poor lion didn't even get a bite of hippo meat and got its belly torn open. The crocodile, thinking it had the upper hand, soon found itself facing the wrath of the pride. The lions tore into the crocodile, and despite trying to fight back, it was no match. After just a few rounds, the crocodile was overwhelmed and defeated. This is by far the most incredible warthog I've ever seen. Don't believe me? Keep reading. The leopard had already dragged the warthog out of its burrow. Despite the warthog's frantic struggles, the leopard looked defeated. The leopard let out a frustrated sigh. Another hunt wasted. The warthog, shaken but alive, headed to the river to quench its thirst. But as it drank, a crocodile launched a surprise attack, jaws wide open. With lightning reflexes, the warthog leapt away and escaped, leaving the crocodile stunned by its speed. On its way home, the warthog ran into the leopard again. What rotten luck! But instead of running, the warthog boldly approached the tree where the leopard rested, provoking it with fearless defiance. The leopard, bewildered by the warthog's audacity, watched in disbelief. True to its reputation as the savannah's notorious troublemaker, the warthog refused to back down. The leopard, carefully biding its time, prepared to pounce. But the warthog wasn't about to let that happen. After a tense 30-minute standoff, just as the leopard made its move, the warthog vanished without a trace. Once again, the leopard was left utterly humiliated, outsmarted by the cunning warthog. Oh my goodness! While sawing wood, third brother stumbled upon a snake. Unbelievable. You'd never guess how tragic this snake's fate would be. Even more shocking, hidden in the wood were snake eggs. Who would have thought woodworking could lead to such wild discoveries? These logs were brought back from the wild, where animals often make their homes. Sawing them open feels like opening a mystery box of nature. You never know what you'll find. Just recently, a woodworker uncovered a nest of baby snakes squirming across the wood, a truly chilling sight. Some snakes were even cut in half, making for a scene that was as grotesque as it was surreal. Sure enough, this time the saw revealed a pile of snake eggs. Luckily, they hadn't hatched, and the mother snake was long gone. But just as relief set in, the unexpected happened. A small snake shot out of the hollow log. There was no turning back. In one swift motion, third brother's saw made the final cut, leaving the snake split in two. The pufferfish strikes, biting the lobster in half. The lobster, desperate, drags its tail to escape, but the pufferfish is relentless, biting again with ferocity. The lobster is terrified, but the pufferfish won't let up, devouring it alive. The older lobster arrives furious to avenge its sibling, only to have its tail bitten off by the pufferfish. Still alive, it raises its claws to fight back, but the pufferfish keeps tearing at it, striking fear into an onlooker. A venomous scorpion appears to help, but the pufferfish easily bites off its tail, ignoring its venom. The scorpion flees in terror, but the pufferfish chases it. Yet, when it faces a small crab, the pufferfish is finally defeated, its mouth trapped in the crab's mighty claws, proving that even the mighty can be toppled. A walrus, desperate to return to the sea, tragically misstepped and fell from an 80-meter-high cliff. What could possibly drive them to risk their lives like this? The scene reveals over 200 walrus carcasses scattered below. Falling from such heights means certain death or severe injury. One after another, these massive 2-ton creatures tumble down, their bodies slamming against the rocks before hitting the ground, barely clinging to life. Some, lucky enough to get caught on the cliffside, struggle desperately to climb back up, clinging to a fragile hope of survival. Yet, on such steep cliffs, one wrong move seals their fate. Watching this heart-wrenching scene, you can't help but feel their fear and despair. Even polar bears hesitate to approach live walruses, intimidated by their massive tusks. But with so many fallen, a polar bear's luck has turned. It's like a dream come true for them. Life in the wild is truly a cruel and relentless battle. A mother moose and her calf blocked a man's vehicle, refusing to let him pass. To avoid harming them, the man stopped and waited. Unexpectedly, the mother moose stared intently for several minutes, then suddenly charged at the car, striking it. Hoping to sneak past unnoticed, the man attempted to drive around them on the left, but this enraged the moose further. She struck the car again, as if trying to communicate something. The man speculated that a nearby grizzly bear might be the cause, with the mother moose seeking protection for her calf. Deciding to help, the man followed the pair at a safe distance for several kilometers, ensuring their safety before parting ways. Grizzlies, known for their omnivorous diet, often prey on young moose. This pair had indeed been stalked by a grizzly. The mother moose bravely confronted the bear, trying to scare it off while keeping her calf close. The grizzly feigned indifference, pretending to forage. When the mother moose charged, the bear retreated, but later slyly approached again, forcing the moose and her calf to seek refuge in the water. For half an hour, a tense standoff ensued. 30 long minutes of vigilance and courage. The grizzly, finding no opportunity to attack, eventually lost patience and left. Only then did the mother moose and her calf hurry away to safety. Let us wish this brave duo a life of peace and safety.